Does freedom of speech truly exist in our world in its true form right now in the modern world? I would say no. Freedom of speech actually do not exist in any part of the world. You will see in every society there are elements there are topics in which you won't be allowed to talk, you won't be allowed to discuss, you won't be allowed to question. And I'll give you examples for that. In in Western countries, you are not allowed to question the government's relationship with Israel. US government recently passed a law where you are not allowed to say anything on your social media. If they find if you are saying anything against the Israeli government's genocide or how they are committing genocide, they have the right to not to give you visa. If you are in US as a student, you are in your visit visa or work permit. Even if you got a green card, they have right to seize all of that and take your citizenship and kick you back to your home. They can jail you, they can do whatever they want. They have created a force called ICE who covers their face, and they are given a power to abduct anyone from any places. Even if the person is in hospital, they have the power to aggressively abduct them. And we have lots of video proof where they are abducting people, and they are showing aggression towards people for no apparent reason. This is same as what Hitler's Gestapo did back in 1947. And you don't have freedom of speech in US. You can't criticize Israel. You can't criticize a literal genocide that is happening right now. This is same in UK. People are getting arrested for just saying free Palestine. You can't show your support towards Palestine. You can show your disdain towards Israel. And this is common in most of the Western countries. I can give you another example. In European countries, Nordic countries, you are not allowed to criticize LGBTQ or question LGBTQ ideologies, though it completely clashes with the scientific theory, and they claims that they are a nation who believes science and technology. They will not allow you to criticize LGBTQ. There are instances where families have been broken for criticizing LGBTQ ideology. Children's taken out of the family. There are families from Muslim families, Christian families, and conservative families where parents did not allow their children to learn about LGBTQ ideologies, stories, and they didn't want their children to get brainwashed in a school by these ideologies, and they didn't allow it, and um, they told their children to don't attend those classes. And what the government, the teachers, and the administration did, they took the children from their home, they put the children on a foster house, and they jailed the parents. The jailed find the parents. And this is not a unique story. These instances, incidents happened often, multiple times in Nordic countries. So, in those countries which says that we believe in at most and the superior freedom of speech, and they allow everything. They allow people to burn Quran, they allow criticism, they allow any speech, any speech. If you want to say anything to anyone, you are allowed to do everything, but you can you cannot do this certain thing. So that's their limitation, or that is where they uh, put a bar on freedom of speech, put a cap on freedom of speech. If you visit China, you are not allowed to speak about Uyghur incident. In Uyghur, we know that Chinese government has been um, doing some nasty things, putting Uyghur people into concentration camps, and they are doing also a slow genocide in China. But you are not allowed to say anything about Uyghur people in that country. In Russia, you are not allowed to criticize Putin. In India, you are not allowed to criticize their religion, and you are not allowed to say anything against their religion, and they will put you to death. They will lynch you. They'll jail you for that. So, freedom of speech, even in lots of so-called upholder of the freedom of speech, the face of freedom of speech, who claims themselves as the face of freedom of speech, they are not practicing the true extent of freedom of speech. However, whenever someone in my country says some nasty, derogatory speech, makes derogatory speech about our prophet, the same people who always support the right of Americans to not allow people who opposes their geopolitical relationship with Israel, and who supports that USA can kick out anyone they want just for practicing freedom of speech. These same people will say that, yeah, this guy who is saying bad things about our prophet has the right to do so because it's his freedom of speech. Isn't it hypocrisy? Why would I allow someone who do not be, some random guy who hurt who is hurting the feeling of the thousands of people, millions of people who are living in this country, and create a mass unrest? Why would I allow that? You know, in our country, we are Muslims, right? And any practicing Muslims will have more love towards their um, prophet, our prophet, than any person, any individual, anything that the world is offering. So allowing people to say nasty stuff about him will surely create unrest in the country. You know, these people also do not understand the difference between criticism and saying bad stuff, derogatory terms, and making nasty remarks. If I say, or if I criticize my employers, my subordinates, they will not um, kick me out from the office, because this is what I am supposed to do. I can criticize their work, right? But if I say use